what I can tell you is, if we walk away from this agreement, given the suspicions that the Supreme Leader had about even entering into negotiations with us, we will have proven their worst fears, that you can't deal with the West, you can't trust the West, therefore they have to go do what they have to do to protect themselves. And they will get a weapon one way or the other as a result of not accepting this agreement.
That's not even Neville Chamberlain. That is insane talk. I mean, like, lock me up in a loony bin because I'm insane. Joining us now is Fred Fleitz, former CIA analyst, senior vice president at the Center for Security Policy. Hello, Fred.
Hey, Steve, couldn't have put it better.
I mean, we can't walk away from this deal, and unfortunately we're not, but we'll get to that in a second. We can't walk away from this deal or have the Congress say no to this deal, because then the Supreme Leader won't like us. I mean, is this man belong in a rubber room?
Kerry will say anything to promote this deal. You know, the only alternative is war. Other deals in opposition to this are impossible. He'll just say anything. And we know from the very beginning, Khomeini had our number. He knew we were desperate for a deal, and we gave in on every single point to get one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, now, the bad news here today gets worse and worse and worse. Is like a week ago, I was sitting here talking to Vice President Cheney. Actually, I believe it was a week ago tomorrow. And I told him at that time, well, the president now has the votes to override a veto. The Senate votes to override any veto. Now the president has the votes in the Senate so if they can't even break a filibuster. I mean, did you ever think it would come to this?
It's really appalling that Harry Reid and President Obama want to escape responsibility for Senate Democrats by using the filibuster so they don't have to vote on this agreement, but they know the American public hates this agreement by a 2-to-1 margin, and 60% of the American people think the President and Secretary Kerry have not been honest with them about it. So this is the coward's way out. They're going to try to filibuster.
Well, they will have to, I mean, the Democrats will at least have to vote no to break the filibuster, which will put them on some kind of record. But it really is terrible. You know, two opposing schools of thought here, or competing schools of thought. Dick Cheney said at the time, when he said that there's talk that they might not even be able to break a filibuster, that would neuter the Senate. And Alan Dershowitz said, I hope they can't break a filibuster because that'll delegitimize the agreement altogether. But I got to tell you, I go more along with Cheney than with Dershowitz on this.
Well, let's keep in mind that this is a treaty. The president won't call it one. And treaties are supposed to be ratified by a 2/3 vote in the Senate. Instead, this treaty only needs a third of support of either house. So it already doesn't have much legitimacy. If it survives by a veto or a filibuster, I mean, its dubious legitimacy will be significantly weakened.
All right, now, you are involved. You're going to be at the big rally tomorrow. My next-door neighbor, literally next door, told me yesterday he's taking a bus from New Jersey to Washington, going to be at the protest, and then he's taking the bus. They're providing a bus back home. So these are this is the kind of dedication people have. Talk about what's happening tomorrow.
You know, we're not giving up the fight. Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, Sarah Palin are going to be in front of the Capitol tomorrow for a huge rally against this deal. Glenn Beck will be there also. It's going to be a huge effort to say to Democrats who are supporting this deal, you're wrong, and if you support this bad deal, you're going to pay a high price at the polls.
Well, I certainly hope that will be the case. I just think, you know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So let's listen to what Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to say here real quick yesterday.
I was given probably the most thorough review that almost any member had access to as far as what the actual process is for Iran to reveal their previous military dimensions at Parchin, and I can say in no uncertain terms without revealing the details that they cannot self-inspect.
They can't.
Cannot.
Okay.
Absolutely cannot, and that the IAEA, and in fact, the head of the IAEA came out immediately, and they hardly ever comment, Jake, but the head of the IAEA said that was absolutely not the case.
Well, of course, the State Department has actually confirmed that Iran will be involved in their self-inspection, but the IAEA will either be on the ground or watching through video camera. We got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
What Wasserman Schultz said is untrue. I know what that briefing is. Not only will they be inspecting themselves, most of the agreement, according to classified proposals, briefings given to Congress, most of this agreement isn't even written down.
Yeah, well, I'm shocked that she's got it wrong. Fred, great to see everybody. Head to Washington, D.C. tomorrow for the big protest. We'll
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Give Me 5 is next. More with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Hey, folks, Ben Carson has risen 13 points up to 18% in the latest national poll. He did that in 1 month. He's got a great new book out called One Nation, and you could get your copy absolutely free from Newsmax by calling the number on your screen and going to the website newsmax.com/Ben. Call 800-655-7567 and get the great book by Ben Carson.